Warning, we are a spoilers podcast. At times we are also an offensive podcast. And we are most certainly a verbally explicit podcast. So if you fear for any of your delicate sensibilities, please back up now before you reach the point of no return. Alright, pussies, this is your final warning.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cinematic Anarchy. I'm Chris, and with me to my left here is...
Hello, I'm Miss B.
Yes. I usually announce everybody, but today I left it to you. I'm sorry. And today we're going to go ahead and review a movie that, normally we try to stay on the lighter side of things that are either comedically bad or just bad. This was
not light.
This was not a light movie at all, and I have never seen it before. I did.
I saw it maybe twice before, but definitely goes with the whole prison thing that we got this month.
Yes, so just to start off with, this month is Prison Block Month, so we're going to be reviewing 4 movies, all with a prison theme, and today's particular movie is the Stanford Prison Experiment. And mind you, I was trying to discuss this movie with a couple of people before I had actually brought it up and watched it. I was asking other people if they'd seen it, what they thought about it, and I kept calling it Stanford Prison Experiment. So, right off the bat, a lot of people correcting me. You're wrong. It's Stanford. Stanford, like the college. And I was like, yeah, college.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it's something. Whew. So, right away, first impressions of the movie, or you've had a couple of impressions, but...
I mean, I liked the movie. It gives you a very real idea of how people are treated in prison.
I mean, I would...
the whole experiment was supposed to last 2 weeks, and it lasted a whole of 6 days before the guy running it shut the whole thing down. The correctional officers took it way too far.
Okay, so...
And they were all volunteers.
Wasn't really correctional officers. So
yeah.
we should state that this was a Stanford psychological experiment, like she said, that had been scheduled for 2 weeks. And the entire experiment was comprised of 2 groups. You had a group of 9 prisoners and a group of 9 guards, who were all played by kids or students that were all attending Stanford at the time.
Yeah.
Not in the movie, obviously. You had a lot of well-known actors in the movie, but in real life, it was students that were given sort of an opportunity to make $15 a day to take part in a psychological experiment.
And back in the 70s, that was a good deal.
Yeah, for $15 a day, a lot of people were like, yeah, hey, hand me the money, I'll do it. Yeah, I've actually taken part in...
bitch!
Well, actually, several people in my family have taken part in experiments, so to speak. Mostly medical. I remember my older daughter in Georgia took part in a vitamin D study for the UGA.
Nice.
And that was what we gave her all the money, because she had to have blood drawn, and then she had to go through a regimen of taking these pills, and you didn't know if it was either twice the dose, regular dose, or it was no dose, basically the sugar pill.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting, and then they take the blood and they do they're doing a bone density experiment.
Okay.
So that was fun, and she got all the money for that, and that was every time they had to come in and take blood, she got $80 for that. Which was,
nice.
For a 13-year-old kid, hey, that's
not
bad.
For a kid, yeah.
You tell a kid, I'll give you $80. What are we going to do? Take blood.
That's a nice
I don't like
side
needles,
hustle.
but it's $80, so. That was fun. I did a psychological one for drinkers. I was part of the didn't drink too much group.
Yeah.
I'm a social drinker at best. I don't drink a lot by myself. that being beside the point.
I used to be like a stupid alcoholic. It was bad.
Oh, I had a 2-year stint from... No, let's make that about 3 years. I'd say from the time that I turned 20 and finally had a friend that had legal access to alcohol until about 23. Shortly after I met my wife and around the time that we found out that we were having my oldest. That was a friggin' whirlwind.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. we were together, engaged, and pregnant all within a 3-month span. That was...
Whatever's clever, man. You guys are still together. That's fucking fate right there.
Right? Yeah, that's quite a long time. So.
But anywho, back to the movie.
Yeah, we got way off track. We chat a little bit.
But yeah.
But this movie took the 3 groups, and of course they had them all in groups of 3. So it was always 3 guards at any given time that were taking care of them, and then you had 3 prison cells, each with 3 people in it. Yep.
The first day they were all in their own cells.
Right, and then they started switching them around.
And they started switching them. They started putting them together when Ezra Miller's character started acting out. Was it his character or the other kid? I can't remember.
It was Ezra Miller.
It was? Okay.
Oh, God. I have his name or his call number somewhere.
So the whole idea behind the experiment was to dehumanize these kids. To make them feel like they were actually in prison. And then once... Ezra Miller's character actually did go to the people running the experiment and said, "I want out." They were convinced that it was him faking it and sent him back, and he's like, "This is all real. This is happening. They're not going to let us fucking go despite of what we signed in the contract."
Right.
So that's when the psychological warfare in your own head starts breaking everything down, and you're just like, "Fuck. What do we do now?"
So we did have somebody behind us over here pipe up for about 2 seconds. So with us in the room today, you can't see it, I believe, on either camera, but
nope.
Or really hear much on the podcast itself. But behind me is my son Alex, who has advised me that Ezra Miller's character was 8612, otherwise known as Daniel Culp. That was the name of the real life person that had taken part in this particular experiment. Yeah, and there was a lot that happened to Ezra before he finally went to them and was asking them, "Please let me out. I feel awful," because he got hit on the head with a nightstick, and that was his first clue as to the fact that this was not going to be as contracted.
This isn't just an experiment. This is...
They're going to let it go far beyond what was originally told to them.
As a sadistic asshole's just having a field day.
No, I don't think that the majority of the folks that were watching over this experiment were having a field day at all. At first, they were like...
The majority of them were. You're right.
At first, they were taking the analytical side of it, and then people started drawing their lines. This is a little too far. No, this is a little too far. I had one guy that nearing the end of the movie was like, I'd seen everything that's been happening, and after seeing all that's going on with them and all that's going on with us, I see that you have to follow this through. The one guy in the entire movie that's saying, keep going, keep doing it, keep doing it. It's like, oh. And the movie got dark. Not quick. It slowly got there, but by the end of the movie, it was pretty dark.
Yep. They completely dehumanized these kids. They made them into, it's just, they're not their own person anymore, they're, oh god.
They were, I guess the original experiment was supposed to be that they were trying to I guess, measure and my brain is tripping over words.
The psychological effect of being imprisoned has on a person with no access to sunlight or outdoors or any of that, constantly being thrown in a hole.
So what I was reading was that it's partially that, but for the most part it was perceived power. So the fact that the prisoners themselves really had no power, and the prison guards had all the powers.
Yeah.
So how it would affect these people, whether or not they were going to rebel, whether or not they were going to just take it. And most of these kids just literally took it.
Yeah.
And it started getting bad, and these things that normal people would not take part in, would rebel against.
Yeah, there was a scene where the guards, start taking beds because 2 of the cell blocks started fighting back, and the 3rd cell block, all 3 of them, just grabbed their beds, handed it to the guards, and I'm not fighting back, I'm not dealing with this, just do what you gotta do, I just want to get fucking paid.
Right.
That's it.
They had given up. They were like, we're not fighting. You guys can fight.
This is going to be over in 14 days. We can do this.
Right. And then, of course, the first cell was the one that was blockaded.
Yep.
So they had completely blockaded the cell, wasn't letting anybody in, which didn't last for very long.
No.
They were, I believe, taken down with a fire extinguisher. Enough of that powder in your face, and
Oh, yeah.
you can't breathe. Well, it's that stuff's designed to remove the oxygen from the area, so you're coughing and hacking trying to breathe after getting sprayed in the face.
Yeah, that shit's all fucked up.
But yeah, so that's beyond first impressions. So I want to say, if we go to the next thing that I wanted to ask, I have a lot of favorite performances in the movie. 2 people in particular that I liked. Number 1, oh good lord! See, I'm bad with names. I got to look up names all the time. That's why
I wouldn't so much say I liked this guy, but his performance was spot on. The Mr. Correctional Officer that's way too into it.
That's Chris. Well, the character's name is Christopher Archer, played by Michael Agarano.
Yep. And Ezra Miller's character, who Ezra Miller fucking nailed that meltdown. Oh my god, good for you, buddy.
So my second favorite performance was Nelson Ellis.
Yeah.
Lafayette from the
Yeah, okay.
True Blood series. He played the actual reformed prisoner in this that was kind of brought in as consultation as to how things should go. And he actually was initially the guy that let it get as far as it's going, because they kept looking to him should we let this continue?
Yeah.
Should we step in? No,
He's
just let it continue.
Keep going, fucking, this shit gets way worse than this in actual prison.
Well, because if you...
I mean, he's not wrong, but there's that line where you're in actual prison, and this is an experiment that's supposed to have clearly defined lines.
Right. And they set out those lines in the contracts, and obviously
and
those lines
all of them.
were erased.
Yep.
Very shortly after the first day. And so Nathan Ellis's character, the reformed prisoner, he got to the point in the movie where he realized that most of him letting it get this far was because he was seeking some sort of revenge.
Yeah.
Some sort of... He knew how bad it was, and he wanted to make other people feel how bad it was, and he realized that these are kids.
The first time Ezra's character goes to speak to the administration heads of this experiment, homie over there, the prisoner guy.
Okay, so in the movie, his name is Jesse Fletcher.
Okay, Jesse Fletcher. Straight up pretty much just calls Ezra a pussy. He's like, you're just a weak little boy who never got punched in the face.
I believe that was exactly the words.
Yeah.
You're a little pussy. And weak was definitely brought up. Now, in all honesty, I've watched a lot of Disney and Nickelodeon television with my kids, and I've watched a lot of Netflix, and I did not realize, the fact that this is basically a star-studded cast of young talent.
Yeah.
So I had an appreciation as I'm watching it for the fact that these are all people I recognize, fully outright recognize,
Yep.
and they took on these roles phenomenally. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 people that I just couldn't buy in the movie, people that I didn't really like. I did not like the woman that played Billy Cudrup's wife. I really didn't like her.
Not really.
And I really felt, I guess in real life, the psychologist and this woman, they actually got married 2 years down the road from the experiments. I just feel like she didn't
portray
emit enough disgust
emotion. Yeah.
at what was going on.
I completely agree with you.
And he was disgusted with himself by the end of the movie.
Oh yeah,
too.
absolutely. Because like that last scene where fucking everything finally broke, fucking Mr. Correctional Officer was making prisoners, pretend to be camels and hump each other, and it was awful. It was disgusting.
They were pretending to be camels and humping each other while another prisoner who was just in the hole sang Amazing Grace behind them.
Yep.
And serenaded them while they were doing the whole thing.
Yep.
The fact that was the scene where Billy Crudup was finally disgusted with himself, the psychiatrist was like, yeah, this is over. We're done.
Yep.
Was beyond me. They should have stopped a long time before that. But I guess
this fucking guy, little Mr. Correctional Officer, like, does that mean we're not getting paid for the full 2 weeks? No, bitch, you're not! Fuck? You took this too far!
So, I want to say favorite scene in the movie, but I can't use the word favorite when talking about a lot of stuff.
You can't!
So, strongest scene for you in the movie. Most emotion-evoking scene, I should say.
It's a hard tie between Ezra's meltdown, the second meltdown.
Okay.
And this kid finally breaking after repeatedly saying, I will not use profanity, even like outside the prison experiment.
Right, yeah, the one that refused to use profanity. Yep. And, of course, John Wayne there, our lead guard, kept calling him a bastard and wanting him to say the word bastard, call himself a bastard, and refused to just let it be. And he was making other people do other things.
Yep. And
basically trying to evoke him to say that word.
You could see his soul leave his body at that moment. Like, he was just fucking absolutely done with everything.
Yes?
I was just gonna say, and then the part where after he said the word bastard,
John Wayne, yes.
Yeah, he made the guy do push-ups.
Yep.
And
he's like, yes, thank you, Mr. Correctional Officer.
Not only did he have to do push-ups, but he had to do push-ups first with one guy and then another guy on his back. And then when he couldn't do that push-up, he called him a bastard for not being able to do the push-ups. Which was, definitely a very powerful scene.
Yeah.
One of my favorite or more powerful scenes in the movie. So there's a point in the movie where Ezra Miller's character has been released.
Yeah.
And they find out that his plan was to come back and release everybody, basically end the experiment.
He never come back.
He never came back, but this whole scene, it kind of showed you how attached he was to this experiment, Billy Crudup's character, because he camps out in the hallway and even runs across one of his own colleagues who questions him as to why are you doing this. And he just laid into that guy, bit his head off about it. Why are you questioning me? You don't have any right to question me. But he was just very, very eerily calm, just sitting there in that chair waiting for this guy like he was going to take him down the second he came through the door. Never showed up. Spent the entire evening in that chair waiting for nothing. Because Ezra was out of there and he wasn't coming back. No, he's not coming back for hell nor high water.
No, he's going to a psychologist for the rest of his life.
Exactly. And you even saw they had the interviews at the end of the movie.
Yep.
So the one-on-one interviews, and you had Ezra, and you had John Wayne just talking back and forth to each other, and of course, John Wayne there is telling him, he goes, I didn't realize that I could be like this, and he goes, and it just kind of took hold of me, and he was telling him, he goes, I don't like you at all. He goes, I realize you can be a good person, but that doesn't mean I have to like you.
Yeah.
So a lot of those end interviews were very interesting too, and I want to go find the documentary. There was an actual documentary done on the experiments.
That's something to really do some research into, because that's some fucked up shit, man.
See, this is the whole thing about us not being as prepared as we should be.
Yeah.
We do a lot of this by the seat of our pants, so we just kind of watch a movie, come in here, and we like to shoot the shit, drink a little bit. We're both drinking the same thing right now. Me, more out of the necessity of just cleaning out my refrigerator. I need all the booze out of there so I can bring new stuff in. I like to to experiment with booze a little bit. There's some fun stuff like moonshine cherries. Have you ever had those?
Oh my god. Okay, listen, buddy. For my for my 21st, my friend made me cherry moonshine.
So cherry moonshine. I'm talking. Have you had moonshine cherries?
They gave me all kinds of fruit that was soaked in moonshine, and I'm just...
so you probably have them.
It was awful. It was the worst.
It is a kick. Real kick. And it's a very, very quick way to get blitzed, I'll tell you that right now. It's not a good drunk either.
No.
It isn't.
It's not fun. God. That's, you're gonna vomit in 2 seconds kind of drunk.
It's a lay down, what the fuck did I do to myself drunk.
This is immediate regret.
I've drank plenty of booze in my time, a lot of different shit, but...
Cynthia, if you're listening to this, I appreciate the moonshine. I honestly do. My stomach is too much of a bitch. I had to give it to my brother.
Yeah. I think that moonshine stuff, that moonshine cherries just sat in our refrigerator. Like, we didn't have to drink any of the moonshine.
I'm a girly drink kind of person.
I am,
I will gladly admit I'll take a bitch drink over fucking beer or liquor any day.
I'm drinking the spiked Donald Palmer right now, and I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I don't like beer. I don't like mixed drinks. I am, like, literally a straight-up shot guy. I would prefer a shot of rum, shot of whiskey, whatever. Because this is my thing, okay? I think I've mentioned this on a previous podcast.
Yeah.
I learned very young in life that I appreciate having the liquor, but not the volume of liquid.
Yeah.
So if I get drunk, I don't have to worry about finding a bathroom. So it's like, okay, well, 3 shots as opposed to 3 beers. What's going to keep me sitting a little bit longer?
Yeah. I can't do liquor anymore. I get too messy.
Okay. So getting back to the movie itself, as we once again got sidetracked.
As always.
I want to say your least favorite part of the movie.
Mr. Correctional Officer. Just like his whole character. I hated him. Like, I mean, you're supposed to hate him. That's, like, who that person was during the experiment. But goddamn, he... Oh, man, buddy. Well, you need to talk to a therapist.
I think he did his job. If you hated him...
Oh, no, he absolutely did his job.
If you hated him, he did his job.
He did.
I want to say my least favorite part of the movie. There's this one scene where Ezra Miller and Ty Sheridan's character finally kind of figure out how to get out of their cell, and they attempt to escape. And they have this weird scene where they run off. They what's his name? Moises. Is it Moises Aries? Is that what his name is? The correctional Moises Aries. I'm correct?
I think so.
He's another one of the correctional officers. He's the kid from Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
He sees them pass by and has to chase them down. He's calling for the other guards. He's telling everybody that they've escaped. And this entire scene, as goofy as it was, the looks on their face running down the hall, I really felt like it should be like there should have been like a Scooby-Doo theme song going on with that whole thing. Just them running up and down the hall. I mean, obviously it wouldn't fit with the movie, but that's how the whole scene played out to me.
Yeah, kind of. I feel you.
And it is Moises Arias.
Yes.
Arias. My, not Aries.
That creepy little worm
He's been
kid.
in a lot of movies lately. Honestly,
Yeah.
he was in this. He was in 5 Feet Apart. He was pretty good in that.
I mean, all the Disney stars, quote unquote, are growing up and they're trying to get into some more serious roles. If you get
to see 5 Feet Apart, I was kind of dragged into that one. Didn't regret it.
If you guys haven't seen the latest season of Black Mirror, Miley Cyrus gets some seriously fucked up shit going on in that last episode. Like, go check that shit out.
Probably the one reason I wouldn't watch it.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be fucking horrible, but it wasn't. Like, I immediately thought it was going to be garbage because it's Miley Cyrus. But that whole episode, like, it was just... You have to watch it.
I guess the issue that I have, and there's a lot of female starlets that fall into this little issue.
Trust me, I fucking hate Miley Cyrus. sorry, bitch, but
there's a handful that I would look at right now and just, and mind you, it's from a father's perspective. Because I've watched these TV shows with my kids, technically watched them grow up on television.
Yeah, right?
And then immediately go out into the world and just become these over-sexualized things. And
I mean, she was the one to go out on stage with a strap on. She had that phase.
I get what they were doing, trying to distance themselves from their goody two-shoes images before.
Yeah.
A lot of people have fallen into that. What's her name? Jessica Biel did that too. She felt the need to kind of break out and get away from that whole thing from Seventh Heaven. There's a lot of starlets that fall into that bad category. I think
but Miley Cyrus is getting back into the more half-decent flow.
Well, she's coming to a little bit of realization of wow, maybe I went a little too far.
Yeah, I need to chill. But that last episode with her was actually pretty decent.
All right, I'll give it a chance. I mean, I can't say that.
I'm not gonna spoil shit for you, so you gotta watch it.
I've watched a few episodes. I haven't really dove into the show as much as Alex over here would like me to.
I only watched a few episodes. I don't know why I didn't continue, but I didn't.
Well, I think it's I guilt trip you a little bit about.
Oh yeah.
I do the guilt trip thing, and if there's one thing that both of my kids would like me to just fucking stop, it's I guilt trip. My mother taught me how to guilt trip. I have passed it on. My children will know how to guilt trip before they leave this house.
You guilt trip and then blame us for guilt tripping.
They will put their respective others through such guilt. And I will take credit for it. You didn't like that? That was me. Well, plus, I'm the dad. I don't want anybody that's dating my kids.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I get it.
I don't want any of them to have an easy time.
Oh, I get it. My 6-year-old is in for a fucking weird teenage life.
Now, you've seen me. You know me. You know I'm kind of a teddy bear.
Yeah.
The kids that I dealt with down south, my older daughter, Serenity, every boy that ever came into my house was fucking terrified of me. Terrified. We had this kid.
Hilarious.
We had this kid Noah that lived right next door to us, and he was her first legitimate kiss. And this happened. This happened one day. So me and my wife are sitting down the hallway, and my kids had a TV in their room. So we're gonna go down the hall and watch a movie. So. My children, they're not quiet kids. So Serenity was not named for how I thought she was going to be. And thank God I didn't name her Chastity. That being said, we were kind of looking around, got real quiet. And I'm like, what's going on? They're quiet, a little too quiet. So, and this was not easy to do because I lived in this tin box at the time and all the floorboards were creaky as hell. So I snuck down the hallway and I did the dad thing and I threw that door open. What are you guys doing? Now my daughter, very smart girl, immediately looking at the television. Immediately. The second that door swung open, they separated, they're looking at the television. Noah, on the other hand, not being quite as there.
Oh, no.
It's just, he's looking at the ground. Just looking at the ground, and I'm looking at him like I knew what's going on. I go, want to tell me what was going on? Nothing, Dad. No, nothing. I go, okay, I'm going to try this again. Tell me what was going on. Nothing was going on. No, we weren't doing anything. We were watching TV. We were watching a movie. No, okay. There's a lot of things that I put it right down there. There's a lot of things that I will deal with. But the one thing, my one rule, is nobody lies to me. Do not lie to me. So I'm going to ask you one more time, and then we'll go have a discussion with your dad, Mr. Noah. What's going on?
Oh, no.
And then they kind of spilled the beans. I think my daughter spilled the beans, and then he kind of copped to it. He's like, we were kissing. And it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. I walked out. And he went home shortly thereafter. And his dad comes to my door.
Poor kid's pants.
I terrorized him. I felt so bad. His dad's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Don't apologize. I don't give a crap about the kissing. They're kids. It was going to happen sooner or later. What I cared about is the lying. Yeah. I don't appreciate that. And as long as he doesn't lie to me again, we're good. You know? That's my one rule. Don't lie to me. You lie to my face, I know it. I got a good poker reader right
Oh,
here.
yeah. I mean, granted, 13-year-olds are just books.
You get a 13-year-old caught in the middle of a situation. Their go-to is to lie.
That's my daughter's fucking, like,
That's
Peter Rabbit book trying to fuck...
It's one thing I have to say for Mr. Alex over here is that he does not lie.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he does not lie so much that sometimes he has, like, an aggravating level of honesty.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh my god, I feel you. I'll drink like a little too much and then I'll be like, oh yeah, so this is my entire life story. I'm the worst liar. I can't not fucking like look you in the face and be like, oh, so this is not a true thing about me.
So I don't say this easily. I was a fantastic fucking liar when I was younger. That is why I know when people are lying to me. And I can say this now because, God bless them. My parents have both passed away, and you don't know what God I'm talking about. It's not the Christian biblical God. Let's just put it that way. One day, I'm coming home from you're talking about letting your life go. You can say whatever you want on here if you feel like letting everybody know what's going on with your life. But I'm going to tell one last story here. One day, coming home from a date with this girl, Kelly, me and my buddy John, he wasn't dating anybody at the time. He just tagged along for the bowling date, which, mind you, Kelly very pissed off at me about that one. That's a story for another time. Driving home, I decided to do... I was doing a buck 05 on a back road that was 25 miles an hour in the middle of the night during a rainstorm.
Oh no!
So I don't know what was going on in my head. I thought I was going to be fucking Dale Earnhardt on the back streets here. And I gauged one corner, gauged another corner, and this little downhill turn to the left. Back end of the car swung around, flipped it a few times, propped it up on a rock next to a ravine. If I had flipped it just a little sooner, I would have been in the ravine, not next to the ravine. So first of all, me and my buddy John, I took out his knees with the dashboard and I took out my face with the windshield.
Oh god!
I was not seatbelted. We go walking home. I'm bleeding from the face. My buddy John's all banged up, and we get halfway. We're maybe half a mile from home. That's where we crashed, and we're walking along, and we start laughing. Just laughing our asses off, like, what the fuck just happened? Just hysterical laughter, and like, what am I going to do? I have to tell my parents that I just totaled my dad's car. So
You're alive!
I said,
all that matters!
John, all I need you to do is be quiet. Just be quiet. Because we were laughing all the way home, and I got all the laughter out that I needed to, and I got home, and we were laughing up until I swung open the door, and then immediately turned on the waterworks, and cried for like an hour straight, explaining the whole thing. Did not mean a single bit of it, but I got out of a lot of shit because of it.
Hey man, fuck it. As your dad, you're alive. That's all that matters.
So yeah, I know. Like I said, I'm a very good liar.
Yeah,
and that's how I get out of a lot of shit.
I cannot.
Well, actually, I say I'm a good liar, but I should reiterate: I'm a good liar to everyone but my wife. My wife can read me like a fucking book. She knows when I'm spewing bullshit.
Yeah, no, I can't lie. I'm such a bad liar. Like I'll try to like withhold some kind of truth or something, and I just nope. Whatever the fuck, I don't give a fuck anymore. Just like, here's everything, and here's like my entire life along with that, and why I am the way that I am. I'm sorry I exist.
I've had those incidents. I know people that get around me that just like they start lying to me, and then they know that I don't believe what the fuck they're saying to me.
Yeah.
And they break down. Like, no, okay, yeah. Well, actually, this is what's going on. But I can read some people. I say that I can read a lot of people, but I can tell a liar if I listen to them enough.
Yep.
If I meet a person on the street and they're lying to me, may not be able to tell that quite as well as I can tell a person that I've been around for a while because I know their mannerisms. I know how they carry themselves. Body language. And when that changes, it's like, you're not telling me the whole truth. What's going on? You know? I get worried about my friends. Let's not get too...
I feel you. Two feels.
Two feels.
Too many feels. I get it.
So, your basic... let's go back to the movie, because we got way off track again for probably about 5-10 minutes there. And actually, I don't really have a whole lot else to say about this movie. I really feel that it's just a fantastic movie from beginning to end.
Like, they really got into their characters.
I felt it was appropriately dark for what it was.
Yeah.
They didn't go too far, which a lot of films can be accused of nowadays, where they feel that they have to drive the point home with some very graphic misery.
Yep. Actors will like put themselves through deliberate psychological bullshit just to get into their characters.
We've lost a lot of good people just for that.
Yep.
Heath Ledger.
God rest his soul. Gods. Yes. All of them. Cthulhu.
There's a few people they should have taken that haven't been. But I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
I have speeches that I could give about that. Why him, not them? You know. That being said, I thought the movie was great from beginning to end. I appreciated pretty much every acting performance in that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that anybody was not being true to life about the whole thing. And, that's why I really would like to see. I know there are tapes out there. You can actually see some of what was going on.
Yeah.
They've released footage of the actual experiments. And I'd like to see how true to life they really were. I know there was a documentary, I believe, that was done on the movie. Or not done on the movie, but the movie was done about the documentary. Or something to that nature.
Yeah.
And I think at this point I've lost my brain again. I think I do this once a podcast.
It happens to all of us.
Completely lose it. Your feelings?
I honestly, these people did their research into the experiment and, how it affected people. And they handled themselves perfectly. They fucking, the people playing the officers, the prisoners, they all portrayed their roles exactly as they needed to be. And it was just perfect. My God, I feel your feelings. I feel for you.
In all honesty, this movie did change my mind about one actor, Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
I was on the fence about him in that the Justice League movie. It was I wasn't really for him as the Flash. He was all right.
The first movie I saw him in was We Need to Talk About Kevin, which was also very fucked up.
Okay. I think you've mentioned this movie to me before.
Yeah. He's with his mother in the movie is Tilda Swinton, I'm pretty sure. And she is basically dealing with the aftermath of her son, who, played by Ezra Miller, grows up, she and her husband are just loving, and he, from childhood, is just this fucked up individual. He's a complete sociopath. He gets into archery, right? And he ends up, shooting his little sister in the eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she survived that, but then later on, when he's in high school, has, a full-on meltdown and starts, hunting people down in the gymnasium with his bow and arrow. So, he kills a bunch of students and teachers in the school, and then goes home and kills, or I'm pretty sure he killed his father and little sister before he went to the school. But, it's all fucked up, and the whole movie is Tilda Swinton living with the aftermath of what he did and, how it built up to that. It's just heavy.
So it's basically sort of like a movie about the inner workings of a serial killer. So
pretty much, yeah.
Or I guess at this point it would be a school shooter. Sorry, I was looking away from the area for a moment.
But he had that healthy home background and all that. It's just how his brain was wired.
Okay.
Ever since childhood, he was just a cunt.
It's also sort of a commentary. It sounds like a commentary on nature versus nurture.
He was wearing diapers up until fucking 6-7 years old.
Some kids are like that. They come from a good household, but sometimes the parents are a little too
It was
doting.
a control thing. Yeah. It was like he
I can do this right here.
Yeah, I can do this, and you have to change my fucking shitty diaper, because fuck you.
Okay.
And then, like, Tilda Swinton would throw him against a wall, he broke his arm, and that's when he stopped shitting in diapers and started using a toilet.
So she had to break his arm
She had to break his arm, but, like, she immediately was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my god. She beat herself the fuck up for it. And then he got, he had, like, the flu or something, and then became a mama's boy, and then hated everybody else but her, because she took care of him while he was sick.
Which is why she's the one that lived.
Yep.
Okay. All right, now I have to see this movie. Do you know where it's available at all?
Might be on Netflix, more than likely Hulu, most definitely Amazon.
Okay. So that's the trifecta, the three main places. Tubi? It's free? No? Okay.
Probably. I have Tubi. I just never go on. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It doesn't cast to my Chromecast thing. That's why.
Omar and Seth, they have Tubi on their phones too.
Yeah.
Don't use it. And then I like Tubi for like some of the more obscure things. And I also realized this quick little fix for all the things that I used to watch on Amazon. Hey, Amazon, don't catch on that I do this. Okay. A lot of the channels that are available on Amazon that you have to pay for, you can watch for free on Tubi, and you just have to deal with a couple of commercials.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with.
Hulu does the same shit.
I'm not some spoiled little brat. I didn't grow up in an age of let's turn off the commercials. We don't have to watch them. I grew up in the age of, oh my god, I got to sit through another 15 minutes of commercials so I can watch 5 more minutes of my show.
Break.
Yeah, quick bathroom break. Some of those bathroom breaks were not very quick.
I'm not quick
at all.
Quick bathroom break, throw a burger on the stove, let's go.
So, a couple of the other movies, the other 3 movies that we're looking to do for the month.
Yes.
Hopefully we will have our full crew, but, as you heard through a couple of other podcasts, we're perfectly fine doing 2-man podcasts. Technically, it's a 3-person podcast today, because we've got Mr. Alex in the background. Not a lot of input back there, but I promised him I wouldn't put him on the spot. Do what's in your comfort level. So next week we're going to be reviewing Life, the movie with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. The following week we're going to be doing Brawl in Prison Block 99, and for our final week of the month we're going to be looking into watching Big Stan, starring Rob Schneider.
Good shit.
As the badass guy in that movie. I watched that. Have you seen Big Stan yet?
Nope.
I honestly did not expect them to have him as the pivotal kick-ass guy in the movie, because he's not
a kick-ass guy.
He's like
dwarf. Sorry, he's not a dwarf, but he's a hobbit.
He's a short guy. He's funny as hell too, though.
He is.
Almost everything that I've seen him in, I've loved him in. Outside of Deuce Bigelow too.
I can't get past the grandma thing.
Grandma?
And what was it, Role Models?
Oh, the fact that he liked older women, like much older women.
That was the grandma thing.
It wasn't Role Models. It was what is that movie? Grown Ups.
Yes.
He played the guy, the friend that liked older women, like much older women.
Yep.
He
was gross about it.
He wasn't into cougars. He was into gilfs, grandmas. They have a special section for you in the back of the video store. Please leave the rest of the customers alone.
Thank you. Au revoir, Le Felicia.
But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break here. We're gonna bring up a bit of a word for our sponsor from us.
Yeah.
And then we will be back for the last portion of our podcast. Thank you.
Do the thing.
All right, so thank you for sitting through yet another commercial break. And thank you if you are still listening to us for continuing to listen to us. And at this time, we are going to get into the trivia portion of our podcast. And I think this is the first time I've done one-on-one trivia with Miss Nico.
Yeah.
Miss B, my apologies. We have names we have agreed upon. I don't think I go by much more than Chris, or the big guy. I don't think anybody calls me that, so just
go easy on me. My brain is fried today.
Oh, well, a lot of this is the easy stuff. I didn't
Okay,
break
good
out
shit.
the scenic cards. This is the easy stuff.
Good shot.
So I'm going to go ahead and start.
Okay.
Before winning an Academy Award in 2016, how many times was Leonardo DiCaprio nominated?
Honestly, I don't watch the Academy Awards, so I have no idea.
Take a wild guess. You don't have to.
3.
3. You were off by 2. 5.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something.
He's actually done a lot of good movies.
Oh, yeah.
I give him a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah, no. He's, like, severely underrated in the industry.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Yeah, I mean, fantastic movie. One of the best performances he has ever done.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he doesn't have an award for that, but there's not a lot of...
He always goes, like, above and beyond for his characters.
Not a lot of movies with guys that are mentally handicapped that get awards.
Yeah.
You know? It's like they almost look down on them for going, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that.
Nah.
Okay. All right, you're next.
All right. Which film did John Wayne win his only Academy Award?
John Wayne. Ah, wow. A category that, or an actor that I know very little about. Hondo.
No.
No, I have no idea.
True Gift. Oh,
True Grit. Ah, True Grit. I do know True Grit.
I do not.
And I know that for both versions of the movie, both him and the Jeff Bridges version of the movie.
All right.
So, what was the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture?
Lion King?
Well, same company, but no.
Damn.
I'll give you one more guess.
Fantasia?
Fantasia. No. It was Beauty and the Beast.
Ah!
You were in and around the ballpark.
Getting there.
In and around the ballpark.
It was Disney.
Disney, well, they get a lot of awards anyway for animation, but
I mean, they do their job well.
no awards for that live action thing that they did, the Beauty and the Beast live action. Blah. Anyway, keep going. Your turn.
Which of the following films did not win an Academy Award for Best Picture? West Side Story, Rocky, or Apocalypse Now?
West Side Story, Rocky, or Apocalypse Now? I want to say Apocalypse Now.
Correct.
Okay, you're speaking
Oh,
very
I'm
softly.
going quiet.
Yes. Hey, don't feel afraid to express yourself and sing it out loud. That's what we do here. And I talk a little too loud, as you can see. So. Which Steven Spielberg film was nominated for 11 Academy Awards but did not win any? That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Run over Steven Spielberg movies in your head. This is probably... I don't want to call it a lesser-known one, but I don't know a lot of people personally that have watched it.
I probably don't know it.
Do you want me to just tell you?
Sure.
The Color Purple.
Ah, fuck, man. I actually do know that one. That's a great movie.
I have personally watched it. I don't know a lot of people that have, though.
That's one of my mother's favorite movies.
Okay. I thought you were in the closet, Alex. I literally thought you got in the closet. Okay.
No.
We thought that Alex had gone off to the closet with the dog just to kind of sit there and keep the dog out of the podcast, but I was wrong. Okay. Your turn.
All right.
If you feel like you want to ask me other questions, feel more than free to draw out of the deck.
All right, I'm going to give you something stupid easy. What character's been played by Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield?
That one's very easy. Spider-Man.
Does whatever a spider can.
Pretty much. Okay. See, I got a lot of these things are asking about Academy Awards. I don't feel like it gives you enough information.
I don't watch award shows.
Okay. Maybe you know this one. I don't know. We will see in a minute. Which city does Liam Neeson's character travel to in Taken?
Paris.
Bingo. Paris, France. See, you did know that one. Okay.
Yeah!
You immediately, and I don't know if you're watching this, Zeph, but she has immediately...
I did the thing!
Answered more than you have in this particular time. Just more answers. That's one.
All right.
How many have you answered correctly so far? Are we even keeping track? We're not keeping score. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? We're not keeping track.
Fuck it. All right. What do I want to do?
I don't know.
Which notorious prisoner was portrayed by Tom Hardy in a 2008 film?
Oh, Bronson. Something Bronson.
Yes, correct. Charles Bronson in the film Bronson.
Which is funny, because Charles Bronson is also the famous actor who did the original Death Wish movies.
Huh.
Yeah, before, of course, Bruce Willis did the recent ones. Not a fan, by the way. I love Bruce Willis, but those particular movies just... No, I'm good. All right, let's try for another easy miss, or easy swing. Let's see. In what 2013 film... which 2013 film starred Johnny Knoxville as Irving Zisman?
Bad Grandpa.
You knew that one. That was easy. I think I've done these with Seth previously. I remember distinctly. This may have been like the first round that we did with these cards. I think we had a lot of them.
Cycled.
I'm gonna put this aside and grab a couple more while you go ahead and ask me a question.
All right, that one's too easy. I'm gonna grab another one of the comedy classics.
Here you go.
Good shit.
I'm gonna stay away from the Oscars because I really don't like the Oscar cards, and I'm gonna stick with action and comedy.
What is the name of the cup that Lightning McQueen races for in Cars?
Oh, good lord! Do you know this one, Alex? No, no idea. The Piston Cup.
Yes.
I believe that was it.
That is the thing.
Okay. What action star stars in the Transporter film series?
Oh my god. Don't say it. I know his fucking name.
You can hear your...
Jason Statham.
I was going to say, you can hear that voice in your head all day long.
Oh, I love him.
Look. I am not gay, but if there was ever a voice,
just talk to me nice, Jason.
Just...
I love you.
Yeah, you heard what I said. Okay.
I said what I said. I meant it.
Go ahead. Your turn.
All right. Which actor played Coach Klein in The Waterboy?
Oh, that would be... is that Henry Winkler?
Yes.
Henry Winkler. Gotta love him. And I'm actually so glad that Adam Sandler uses him so much, because I think he is, way underused as an actor.
Yeah.
He's using a lot of Adam Sandler stuff, though.
Adam Sandler's great.
Oh, no, I think I've done this one as well. I did this one with, see, I love this. Okay, here we go. Which actor starred as the titular character in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Oh my god, it's the fucking guy from fucking Godzilla. What the shit is his name?
The guy, the boy, the man.
Fuck, I don't think I ever remember his name.
He's in the producers. He was bigger in the 80s, though, than he was, he is now.
Yeah, definitely.
And that Ferris Bueller movie was, the peak for him.
I don't even remember, I know who it is. I fucking have his face in my head.
So here's the name to go with the thought in your head right now, that strain that you're having.
Not Jurassic Park.
Matthew Broderick. Yes, his name is Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, no, Godzilla. Godzilla guy.
Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
Okay. I almost called him Matthew Parkrick. So thank you for the Jurassic Park thing in my head. Okay. Let's go for one more piece, and I think we should be done. I'll go first while you pick out another card. What is the name of the first film in the Austin Powers series?
It's not Goldmember, I know that.
No.
That's a good question, because I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen Goldmember.
I've seen all of them. And we actually have the 3-disc set out there. So the first movie was Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Okay.
Then it was Austin Powers, The Spy That Shagged Me. And then, yes, the spy that... Dog just barking. Can you not make the dog bark?
I'm not.
Okay.
She's rolling on the floor.
All right. Once sugar starts, she'll be howling the rest of the day.
Little baby.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
All right. What year did the Simpsons movie get released?
Oh, good God. 2002? No.
I'll give you one more guess. I was in 7th grade.
That doesn't help me.
I mean, it helps me.
It helps you. It doesn't help me. I don't remember you in 7th grade. Because I didn't know you. And if I did, I would be uber creepy. Uber creepy.
Well, for me, it's kind of easy to remember because my grade coincided with the year.
2007?
Yeah!
Ah! Okay, there we go. So you just kind of went right along.
Yeah.
8th grade, 2008. Okay, I see how that
Exactly.
goes. All right, well, I guess it's going to be a sort of shortened podcast for the day, which is perfectly fine.
It's all gravy, baby.
Usually, the more people, the more talk. I think I've had some short podcasts with Seth, too, and a couple of podcasts that probably went on for far longer than they should have. But, yes, I'm just stammering over my... stumbling, bumping into... my tongue is just not well placed in my mouth this evening. I have had a drink. That's usually all it takes for me to start acting like an idiot. Or talking like an idiot. So, signing off this evening. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us. And if you have the chance to go check us out on Anchor, if you drop by the Anchor site, you can go ahead and leave us a message, a live message, providing us a little bit of feedback on what you think about the podcast. The more vulgar, the better. We kind of love when people cuss at us. So
be vocal.
Be vocal. Be vocal. Be very loud, very opinionated.
Do the thing.
The more opinionated, the better. And if you hate what we do, then tell us what you hate. And if you love what we do, tell us what you love. And if you have a few seconds, go ahead and drop by that link that helps us with a little bit of support, because the more support that you give us, the more that we can do and the more time that we can take to put a little extra care into these podcasts.
We appreciate the criticism.
So I want to go ahead and, again, thank you for the time. And for myself, have a good night. And Miss B?
Have a good night. Take care.
All right. Thank you.